Roxo Media House.
Welcome back to FORTitude, everyone. J.W. Wilson, Brenton Payne. We are on location here at the lovely Joe T. Garcias. Brenton, we are in the house with the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Lancarte. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Joe.
Thank you.
We finally, after all this time, and tracked him down, got him to sit down for 2 seconds because the man's got some stories, and we're going to learn about this place we're in today. First off, thank you, Captex Bank. We're not in the Captex studio today, but they make all this happen for us, right?
Yep. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for Captex and their continued support. Get us out on location here in this beautiful place.
Indeed. All right, Joe, let's get to it. How long has this place been around?
Oh, since 1935.
35. Yep, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago. Been a few years.
Started off as a barbecue joint, right?
Yes, we started in that front dining room that, the old part that when you first walk in, there was 6 tables of 4 in 1935, and started with barbecue, then became, added the Mexican food later on with my grandmother.
About what year was that?
The grandmother, somewhere in, golly, I know you're going to ask me that one. It was a few years after that. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact year on that.
Opened as a restaurant, though? It wasn't your grandfather's house or something?
No, opened as a restaurant. We had the grocery store just right down the street.
Okay.
My grandparents did. And then my grandmother kept wanting to cook, and she would always cook for people who would come into the little deli that we used. They would cater to the Swift Packing House, which was just right down the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so anyway, he goes, well, if this is what you want to do, then we just need to open a restaurant. So he did, opened one right here in the corner. These were old shotgun homes, he redid it and put a couple of them together and made it into where we are today.
Using the food from the grocery store, and then you just bring it in?
I mean, he had the grocery store down the street, but no, it was a separate deal. Once he opened this over here, he shut the little grocery store down.
Is there a point in the life of this place that they knew they had something special brewing? Obviously, we all know what it is now, but is there a point when they like, oh my gosh, this is going to work?
Well, my grandfather, he was a really smart guy. My grandmother just loved to cook, and so did my grandfather, who loved to do the barbecue. But, they just knew he had something going. He knew quite a few of the people, of course, a lot of the people that in the packing house, and got to know a lot of people who would come out here and eat and kind of get us started.
Right.
Will you explain the lineage, Joe? Because not everyone... So you've got the grandparents, then talk about the rest of the family.
Well, where it comes down to is, my grandparents, that was my mother's parents.
Okay.
And that was Hope Garcia Lancarte. And so her parents, Jesse Garcia and Joe T., who originally started it. Then, of course, my mother's siblings who helped in the restaurant back in the early days. And so that would be in the 30s and 40s. Then years went by, and her siblings kind of went and did their own kind of thing. My mother was the one who really just stayed behind with my grandmother. My grandfather, when he passed away in 52, she stayed with her without a question, said, to keep the restaurant going. And, of course, back in those days, they say, hey, you might want to second think this. A woman can't keep this going, that kind of deal. Well, she said, well, that just gave her another reason why. I will show you.
Yep.
So my, nose down, kept it going with my grandmother, and it was with my father, Paul Lancarte. Well, that's where Lancarte comes in, okay? So they worked in the kitchen. We were kids growing up. Of course, Lanny, 2 older brothers. Now, there's Lanny, my oldest brother, then David, who passed away. Then there's Zarella, my sister, myself. There's Jesse, Philip, and Liz. That's a
good small family.
Small family. I think my mom figured it out. She goes, I don't want to have to hire out. I just have a bunch of kids and we'll put them to work.
Yes,
So,
management team.
Thank you very much. Which we did. And just kept it going. My grandfather opened let's go back a little bit again. He opened that back dining room in the 40s, and which was a banquet room and had, parties and things like that. And then kept it going, like I said. And then when he passed away, my mom kept it going. Remember, you always heard the stories where you had to go to the back dining room, which you did. You had to go through the kitchen to get to the back dining room.
Right.
And that was the only way. He had the long banquet tables back then. They called them picnic tables, people would say. And you would literally sit, we could be 2 people right here, and there'd be somebody sitting right here, right next to you. But, that's how it was.
Yeah.
And people, a lot of people said, I remember those years, Joe, that what was wonderful about that is that I met my wife, I met my husband, I've met my friends. We've been friends for 50 years. We met back in those long tables back then, and we just carried a conversation. There you go.
You think that's part of why this place is so special? You think about how many family events. this is the go-to. This is where, I mean, you got friends from out of town. Well, we got to go here. I mean, not only is it beautiful and what you've done with the kind of the manicuring and the landscaping, but maybe something back to that. I mean, what do you think that it is about this place?
There's a lot of history here in this restaurant with other family members. Think of your family members. I remember one Christmas year, and I still remember it like yesterday, and it was so touching. This man got up, he goes, I've been coming here on Christmas Eve for the last 40 years. And then somebody else said, I've been coming for 30 years or 27 years and 20 years. I mean, I just thought, and everybody just kept getting up and telling how many years they've been coming.
Wow.
And I just like, God, that was touching. That was really cool. That meant a lot to me and our family to hear something like that. Not just that story, other stories, hey, Joe, fourth generation right here coming to your restaurant, and I'm just like, that means a lot, and I've said it all the time, that little 3-year-old, that baby right there, that's our future right there. That, we want to,
Yes, indeed.
see him coming up, throwing pennies into the, you always say the kid throwing pennies in the fountain, I think that's neat. That's awesome. And then that's very special. And I love it. I love when they come out and they're celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, they proposed here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that all our customers have so much, their something important in their lives that they come and keep coming back year after year.
Is it fair to say, though, Joe, you were probably here before you even knew what here was? As a little kid, were you running around playing probably as a little kid?
Oh, there's no question. We are, running around here, every one of my brothers or sisters can have you a story. Lanny has many. I can give you mine that, little, we would, I remember when we were little, we would sleep underneath the kitchen table until Mom could put us to bed. I mean, me and my brothers would be there laying, sleep underneath the table. And then when Mom had time, she'd put us to sleep. We lived here at the restaurant. We lived right behind the restaurant.
Yeah.
So, no, we literally grew up here. Mom put us to work when we were just little bitty. And I remember helping my dad in the kitchen, even if we were just putting guacamole on a plate, when I was just putting water or silverware on the tables. And then, moved on from there and, waiting tables and so forth. But I guess, when you were kind of saying, when did it really hit you? I never really thought about it. I always hear people say stories, I heard about you in California, this and that, and then I heard somebody really telling a serious story one time and telling about how they heard about us, this and that. And I was like, golly, I guess I never really thought about, how far people come and eat here and or how they hear about us. And I was like, golly, that's pretty cool.
How have you managed to work with your family for this long? I mean, working with people is one thing, but your family is another. I don't understand.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Who doesn't bump heads? That's just all common. Lanny and I, let's go, for instance, there. Do we bump heads? Oh, yeah, we bump heads. But once we through bumping heads, hey, what are you doing? This and that. And, you forget about it. You move on. You know what I mean? But that's part of it. We're not going to be on the same page. Not, there's no way. Not always. I mean, many times we are, but we always want what's best for the for the company. And that's the deal.
Right.
And that's great about bumping heads. There's going to be some disagreements. I have my ideas, he has his, but we're going to work on that and we're going to put it together. We're going to make the best idea we can. And make this work.
Yes, indeed.
Period.
So, Joe, tell us about what's a daily or an average day for you here at Joe T's. We all know and everybody knows that you are the man who's on the grounds. You're actually doing the work. You're not sitting up in some high office overseeing, but you are here doing work.
I don't want
What's
to
your
say
daily?
Just me. There's Lanny. I have others, but Lanny and I definitely, that are always here. But my daily, I get up at 4 a.m, come over here. I actually come here, get things going, tell them what to do for the day, the morning, and my crew to set up and everything like that. Do some things in the office, run home. I'll run to the gym, clean up, go home, have my coffee, then come back.
Nice.
And then I'm here for the rest of the day, off and on, or Friday, Saturday, Sundays, it's straight through, though.
What time do you guys stay open till on the weekends?
11 o'clock on
so it gets late.
Monday, Sunday through Thursday. Sunday we're open all day. Friday, Saturday, Sundays all day. And then Monday through Thursday, we're closed for lunch between 2:30 and 5, and we open back up and close at 10.
Yeah.
But, it's a full day. I mean, Saturday I put in 15 hours, you were asking. No, I try not to do that. And, Lanny's the same way, and we are getting older. We're trying to hand that out to my son, who actually, Joe, my son, who also helps us here. And, and we have others, niece and nephews that work here, Leah in the office and so forth. Kelly, helps us out. And, but it's kind of hard. I can't let it go. People always say, it's like, Lanny and I just can't let it go.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
You mentioned before that you started recording how many pair of shoes you go through or how many miles you put on. Tell us about the shoes. The shoes you have to go through.
I mean, I wear, I have to wear, I wear my New Balance. They work good for me, and I go through, literally 6 pair every 6 months, so pretty much 12 pairs of tennis shoe a year.
And Fitbit.
Yeah, pretty
rating.
much I average about 7 miles a day.
Incredible. That's probably why you look so darn good.
Well, I don't know about that. It's hidden. It's hidden.
Eat here,
the big
you can
shirt.
walk it off.
Yeah,
right?
I do. People go, "Do you eat here?" I said, "I really do." And believe it or not, well, Brent, we were talking earlier when you were saying, did you just eat? And I said, I literally taste all the food all the time. I mean, hey, Joe, this is ready. And I'm in there and I put some, I'm always quality control. We always check on it. That's one of the things that I'd like to throw in is that we're all about quality. That's number one. We don't skimp on that. We don't veer away from the recipes that my grandmother made. It's always the best that we can put out there on the plate. The fajitas, they're tenderloin. The chicken breast we use is fresh chicken breast. You know what I mean? We don't have any frozen product.
Right.
We don't do anything frozen. We get deliveries 6 days a week. So it's a fresh product that you're going to get on that table.
Let's stay on that subject of food because we know the food coming in, the orders you're doing. How many, like you said, 6 days a week deliveries? How many cases of avocados per week? Is that something you could define?
I go through, oh my gosh. Just on the weekend, I build up to, just a weekend, 100 cases.
100 cases
just
of
100.
avocados.
So if you say throughout the week, minimum 150 cases a week.
Is there one guy or is there a team of guacamole people for that kind of?
Well, I do have a team crew. Believe it or not, this is a big place, which I do have a team. I have people who do nothing but do the avocados, tomatoes, the bell pepper. That's what their area is. And I have people who do nothing but cutting the beef and the chicken. And we have a cool area where they do all the cutting and preparation. And it's a cool temperatured room where they're in coats and stuff. We keep it so when they pull things out of the walk-in, it's in there, so it stays refrigerated. And once they do cutting it, it goes back into the main refrigeration unit, and it just keeps going. And it's a machine.
Can you break it down to enchiladas, like the biggest day of enchilada sales one day?
Oh my God, I can't break it down on that. But somebody asked. I go through over a ton of cheese a week.
Ton of cheese a week.
Ton. 2,000
cheese.
pounds of cheese.
Oh yeah, pretty much, no question.
What about beef and chicken? Is there any stats
beef and
on
chicken? My gosh, stat on that. Oh my God. Well, I'll let you. I've never. I had a number at one time, but I wasn't expecting this. But you figure 40-pound boxes of chicken, and I go through a minimal of probably 70 cases a week.
Bottles of tequila.
Oh my God, case of tequila. Bottles, 12 cases to a bottle, just our regular house margaritas, and I can go through 80 cases a week on that.
So let's talk about this famous margarita.
At least 80.
Everybody loves the food, but they love the atmosphere. But the margarita is what everybody always seems to talk about with Joe T's. What's going on with the margarita, and how does that work?
Well,
It's Everclear and lime juice. That's what the rumor is.
That's again a rumor, but we'll leave it at that. But we're known for our margaritas. All I can tell you is that I remember when my two older brothers, they made this recipe themselves, Lanny and David. And so they put it together, and we fresh lime juice, tequila, triple sec, and we just, we don't skip. We don't do a pre-mix or anything like that. You're getting 100% real margarita when you get a margarita.
There's no doubt.
There is no doubt about that. And if you even get a special, like a Tino special, anything like that, you better be ready, because, man, that'll put you to sleep.
What's the skinny called? The skinny Rita or something like that?
Yeah, the skinnies. Just plain skinnies, yeah.
How many margaritas do you sell or do you serve on a good day?
Now that I don't have a number on that, to be honest with you, but it's in the thousands.
Thousands.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question.
So how many employees work here, Joe?
I have over 200 employees.
200 employees.
No question.
These are
200,
full-time,
250.
more than-
Probably 100. 60 full time.
Is that a difficult job managing people?
I tell you
most
what,
people
ever
would say?
since COVID and all that, it's very challenging every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's not. Trying to get people, try to get people to stay, and
Right.
just try to get people to work anymore. You
Sure.
know, people ask, "Hey, how you
Sure.
doing?" And I said, "Just about as well as you are."
Yeah.
You know,
But
It
you
is,
all are also known though for quite the cushy waiter job. You don't have to bust
Well-
the tables. I think they just take the order and they go back and
Well,
somebody else does it all.
Well, you know,
that's kind of the funny thing.
we have our busboys. You know, we have again. It's
System.
It's a system. You know, I want my staff, my wait staff, to be all over you, all over my customers. I want them to take care of them, wait on them. I want them to be happy. I said, when they come in, I want them the way they came in. I want them to come. You know, to be the best experience I ever had.
Yep.
You know, am I perfect? No. Are we gonna make mistakes? Of course. You know, but I don't want any mistakes if we can.
Sure. Yes,
But
sir.
I tell
Yes,
my
sir.
staff, I said, don't dwell on your mistakes. Let it go. I said, just make sure that you make it better the next time.
And the consistency aspect that you
It's
talk
all
about.
about
The fresh,
consistency.
and then just, you're going to get the same thing every time you come.
You know, I have customers tell me this. He goes, Joe, I've been coming here again. Remember, I was telling you, they say, I've been coming here 50 or 60. He goes, Joe, I've been coming here all my life, and it tastes the same as the first day I came.
That's incredible.
He goes, and I've had customers tell me this, and I love to hear this. He goes, you know, I love coming here every time. And that's what I said to me, and he goes, when I have your enchiladas, I know they're going to taste like the enchiladas I had 50 years ago.
That's incredible.
You know what I
Incredible.
mean? And I said, well, wow, that's huge.
But they may sit in a different place. So
They
you've
will.
expanded. So
Oh.
tell us about that a
Well,
little
I
bit.
tell you what. Well, we've expanded. You know, when we first started the patio was in 1970. That again, that was my oldest brother Lanny and David had this idea of making a patio. Of course, we were kids. We were also bugging our mom. We wanted a swimming pool, so she was going to do this pool. So Lanny and David kind of, well, you know, we make a patio out of this and serve private parties, which we did. And so when we first opened the patio in 1970, the only way you could sit outside is you had to have a private party.
Right.
Well, when we first built that patio, everybody wanted to be the first to have a party out here, you know, so it took off. And then you could swim back in the day because there was a pool there. And so that went off really well. So people were going, well, we want to sit out here when, you know, also. So I don't remember the year on exactly, but when we weren't doing a party, then we'd open to the public. Well, we were having such a demand, people wanting to that. So Lanny goes, hey, we need to add another section. So we said, we'll do another section and put the parties over here and open this side to the public. Well, of course, that took off and went more and this
Yeah,
and that. So
yeah.
then we added another section in 1991, which is that first covered area. We did that. And again, just kept going till Lanny kind of came up and he goes, Joe, I says, what do you think? We need to finish this off. And I said, what do you think? I said, he goes, so we go, well, so we added that last section in this side, which this took about a couple of years to do because it was so much bigger.
Yep.
And so we finished this off in 1999, I believe it was, when we added this area back here.
And is this modeled after something? Like,
Lanny
does this
Los
come from your head?
Portales. Lanny saw a place in Mexico. Lanny gets a lot of ideas from Mexico. Lanny is so talented when it comes to architectural design. That's probably what he really should have been, because he has just such an eye for beauty of landscaping and architect and design, that he saw a similarity of this that you see behind us, and come off of that with his own design and did that. A lot of people don't know this, but the stonework that you see on the ground, the columns, everything you see here, all came from Mexico. The fountain behind me, I mean, we did it. A lot of this we did ourselves. Now, some of this, when we did this back part, we did have to hire a crew to come and do this because it was so big. But a lot of it, what we did ourselves, but we do in-house. But we wanted to look as original as possible. Again, going from customers saying, you know, I love coming here because it reminds me when I'm in, you know, Cancun or Acapulco or, Hawaii, or when I was in Costa Rica, you know, and so, you know, so forth. And I said, hey, if that takes you away from reality out there, outside of these walls, and you come in here and you're away from all that, we did what we needed.
I think
we accomplished what we wanted to do.
Yes. Well, what are some of the struggles, if you mind me asking, a little bit into your world, what are some of the struggles that Joe T's overall face? Like, what are some struggles you deal with here at the restaurant?
I mean, the struggles that you were talking to, Brenton, that, I mean, it's the help, the employee situation.
People.
The employees is still, that's probably one of our toughest struggles, is still, without a question. You know, for a while there, it was getting things in. There's some things still waiting to get in, like I ordered dinner plates, and, I remember my first order that during this whole COVID took me almost a year and a half to get dinner plates, with our names on it. And right now I'm still waiting on an order on that. But it's those are getting better, but employee situation is still a challenge.
Very good.
What about inebriated celebrities? Does that ever become a problem here? I did hear about Guns N'
Never,
Roses.
no, we've never had a problem
time.
with that with celebrities. No, never. But every now and then I get somebody that's had a little bit too much. That's just going to happen. But we handle it very well and make sure that we get them an Uber home or whatever, and make sure they're all taken care of. We never want anybody to leave here. They shouldn't be leaving here on their own, and we really do take charge of that. No
but
question.
you've had some pretty top-end celebrities here as well.
We've had a lot of celebrities over the years. I've met a lot of people from Jimmy Stewart, Sebastian Cabot, oh my God.
Guns N' Roses, right?
Guns N' Roses.
Axl?
That was a neat story. Axl Rose. I remember when brother asked me about that story. Remember that deal when they had that thing on stage and they had all their equipment tore up? And that many years ago.
Yeah.
But right after that, they came to Fort Worth. Right when after that happened, and my brother Lanny comes. He goes, "Hey, Guns N' Roses wants to come and have a party." I go, "Oh my God, I don't know, Lanny. I mean, you heard what happened? What happened? Their last deal, this and that." He goes, "Well, they're setting up at the convention center downtown. They want to come and have a dinner here and this and that." And I said, "Okay, all right." They did. Everything went off well, and it was neat seeing all those guys. They look just like they normally do. But what's neat about meeting a lot of these celebrities like that? They're just like plain old, just everyday people, like meeting yourselves. And I just think it's neat. I've met a lot of people. Oh my God.
Any favorites of yours come by?
Oh, I have so many favorites. Lindsey Buckingham was a good friend. It still is a good friend. And ZZ Top, and oh my gosh. Let me tell you, Fleetwood Mac story. I was waiting tables back in the day, and this group comes in, and they go, "Hey, we're trying to find some friends," and this and that. I go, "Well, who are you looking for?" Well, he gives me the name, and I said, "I don't know who that is." And I'm sorry, it was, at the time I didn't know who it was, and learned real quick afterwards. But I go to the kitchen, I go, "Hey, Lane, this guy's looking for a group of people." He goes, "Well, what's the name?" He goes, "Fleetwood Mac," and he goes, "Oh my God." So he told me who they were, and I go, "Oh shoot, okay, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know." So it comes in, so I said, "Yeah, come on," and I sit him down, and that's when we had the long tables. He's at the end of the long table, people sitting next to him, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting, I said, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I feel, I didn't know who you were, and I apologize, but I listened to a lot of country music," which was really, that's so typical of me to say at that time. So I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." So I said, "So I didn't get your name." He goes, "Well, I'm Lindsey Buckingham." "Oh, well, that's cool." So you're in the band too? He goes, "No, I have my own band." I go, "Well, who are you?" He goes, "I'm Kenny Loggett."
Oh, wow.
I go, "Oh, well, that's cool."
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, wow.
So anyway, stories like that, but it's just really cool. I mean, meeting so many people, people say I tell you one of the top ones. I don't get shocked very often, but when Sid Bass came out and Oscar de la Renta, who he had brought out many times during those years, and Oscar had come up and we were visiting, and Sid goes, "Oh, Joe, I want you to meet somebody else who I brought." And I looked, and right off the bat, he goes, "This is Henry Kissinger." I dang near just died.
Yeah.
And I start visiting with him, and it was just so cool. And I was like staring at him, right in his face, and almost like in his mouth, because he talked just like that voice. And I was like, I was just like frozen. I was like, "God, you talk just like you know."
Yeah.
And I just was just.
That was a
history.
starstruck.
That was just starstruck on that one. I've never been so starstruck as I was.
Do
on
any
that
of
one.
them try to deviate from the menu? It was a very strict menu here.
Strict menu.
You cannot get off the menu. So do any of them try to?
No.
What if Axl Rose says, "I'd really like a nacho of some kind or something"?
If we can do it, I will. I always do that.
Yeah.
And, same thing with my customers here. I would always try to do. We always try to accommodate everybody we can. If I can, I will.
Yep.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But sometimes that we get that every now and then, a celebrity. When Hillary Clinton came out, she had don't ask me the menu, I don't remember, but I remember she had a streak and with things that she drank and this and that.
Yeah.
We made sure we accommodated that.
Sure.
But if we know ahead of time, we'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most popular item here is enchiladas? Is that
Without
fair?
a question, the family style dinner, the enchilada dinner that we've been serving for over 80-something years. So,
amazing.
But don't think the beef and chicken fajita doesn't fall behind too far.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, we serve a lot of that.
Any other Hollywood? They Dead Solid Perfect film, right? Remember on that
Right,
parking lot?
right, they did up
Any
front.
other kind of Hollywood type filming done here?
I'm trying to remember.
That might
I'm
be
trying to
it.
remember. I don't remember. Did Kelly mention anything to you? I was trying to remember.
She knows not about this.
I was
we're
trying
not
to think
allowed to
about
say.
that.
She
I'm
said
sorry.
keep it
I'm
real
trying to
personal
think.
with you. That's what she told us. Get real,
What's
per-
get
real
personal with
Yes,
you?
yeah.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I know they did that. Well, you know what? Breaking Bad, is that the one? Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. They
it.
did do that where they did their final scene here. Is that the one where they did? Wait, Breaking Bad. That's not the.
Yeah, the teacher that cooks meth.
No, not that one. Okay, it's the other one. What's the other one called? Shoot, not Breaking Bad.
Better Call Saul, The Wire. There's a
It's
couple.
the one where they. Oh, shoot.
You'll think of it. You'll think of it.
I think they did
Yeah.
their final. There was another one where they did their final scene here, where
Inside the-
inside the restaurant, and I thought that was the neatest thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to get
to see them filming it and
They
doing
filmed it. And they did the whole thing here, the final scene where they used our patio as their backyard, as
Oh,
their
yeah.
back patio of their
Oh,
house.
no kidding?
And they showed it like pulling up in our alleyway, and they made this doorway, and where they walk in that door there, which they took the gate down, and then they built that same gate, this just gate in the middle, where they did this camera shot, just aiming at the gate, where he walks in and he walks into our patio. Mind you, there's nothing out here. It's
Yeah.
like if that gate was sitting right here where
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
And it just, when he opened the door, he saw this.
Mm.
And it was I said, now I know how they do
Yeah,
this stuff.
it's pretty
magic.
amazing.
You know,
Yeah.
it is pretty amazing.
We're going to
Pretty
do
amazing.
some effects like that on this show.
Yeah, there you go.
Quite amazed. Yeah.
We'll add
that'd
them in
be
later. Well, people love this place so much. You've probably had, I can't count, I couldn't tell you how many proposals, birthday parties, weddings, the whole gamut. I mean, you've seen your number. How many weddings or birthday parties do you guys host a year?
Oh
Is there
my
even a
gosh!
number
I
you
mean,
can-
so many. It's hard to give you a number, but I mean, just like for rehearsal dinners, we can have 4 rehearsal dinners going at the same time.
Wow.
I mean, I had 2 wedding receptions can go going at the same time. The place is pretty big. I mean, the patio sits over 1,000 people. So I mean, we can do quite a bit.
So if every seat is filled, how many people can sit
I
down?
mean, back in the day, the patio could sit a little over 1,000, but we toned it down since COVID. That and the quality, just trying to give, better attention to our customers, and we kept it that way for that reason. And but we can still everything all together, inside and out. 1,200 people without a
1,200 sitting
question.
down.
Without a question.
And the line out front, there's no doubt. If you come here on a nice day, you're in trouble because that line does not give. You're going to be.
The line can be long, but a lot of people get that shock going, oh my God, that's long. It's a 5-hour wait and this, that. No. Can it be an over an hour wait? No question. But you got to remember, my patio can sit over 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
That's right.
or not maybe 1,000, but 800, Cisco 800. And that moves pretty quick.
Well, and your food comes out quickly,
we
too.
try.
I mean,
We try to get it.
It's not like I've never really experienced oh my gosh, we waited forever. I mean, it is moving.
I
You've
hope
got
you
the
never do,
system
but
down.
if that ever happens, you'll find out. You can't
Plus
see me. I'm in that kitchen I'm fixing it.
Oh, yeah. Well, like we talked about, too, you've got all the new activity going on the north side and with the stockyards.
Right.
There's a bridge coming over from all of that.
Yeah.
And
We're hoping that they're talking about putting a pedestrian bridge from that side over here, so I'm hoping to go get all that worked out and
That'd
get
be
that
nice.
going.
and you
That'll
all
be
just
nice.
welcome it, right? I
You
mean,
know what? With open arms.
Yeah.
With open arms, But it's been wonderful. The stockyards, seeing everything they've been going through and all that. It's really great to see everything that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely benefited, with no other question. But I feel like we also benefit them by being here. With
Sure.
The people here go over there. They're, hey, is it all right to leave my car? They're going to go shopping over there, or vice versa. They come and over eat here, then go back. So it's been really great.
What other restaurants, products, brands belong under the Joe T's umbrella? There's other restaurants we know of. Can you tell us?
Okay, we
everything?
do have Esperanza's, which is right across the street. People known as, they call it the bakery, but it's Esperanza's Bakery and Cafe. Also, we have another one on the south end of town, Park Hill, called Esperanza's there also. They have a different menu, a larger menu. They do have some fish items and stuff like that. Carnitas. Oh my God. All kinds of stuff. I mean, we do have our own bakery across the street, which we make Mexican pastries over there. So, which is really good. Everything we make, everything is made in-house, 100%.
Is there salsa as well?
Salsa as well. We do have jar salsa that you might see at the grocery stores, Walmart, and so forth. And Tom Thumb, who carries it also. That is packaged by somebody else who does that for us, Renfro Foods, who does that for us. And they handle that, and that goes to the stores, which is, I think, is dynamite. I'm sorry, I think it's the best hot sauce out there, salsa out there that you'll find, which that's what I use at home. I like to meet him in the hot.
Yeah.
And I like that. Sometimes I come. My wife doesn't like it. She says it's too hot, but it's never too hot for me.
Right,
So
right.
it's never hot enough.
Well, do you ever eat here, or is it just like, man, I
No,
have
I
been
eat
living
here.
at this restaurant. I cannot
No,
have one more bite.
I've had people ask me that all the time. No, of course I eat here, and my brother eats here. We all eat here. I mean, there's no question. I mean, like I said, I'm tasting things all the time. So I got to make sure that quality is always there.
Yes, sir.
And if something's wrong, I want to know what's wrong, and I will fix it and make sure it's right.
Yes, sir. So, Joe, what's the future plans for Joe T's like these days?
There's always future plans and things that we're always trying to do. And Lanny and I was talking. Lanny has a brilliant mind. I know I go on about that. I just think the world of Lanny and all my siblings, but without a question, Lanny and I, we worked together. Shoot. Well, let me tell you a funny story on that. When I waited tables, so get there, Lanny was like, hey, it's time you start helping me. He goes, I can't be doing this just me by myself anymore. But, with my mom, of course, and that, but Lanny had the full reign. So, I said, all right. So, Lanny, I've been doing this since I was 20 years old. So here I am, 64 now. So we've worked tightly together all those years, and so we have just a dynamite, close relationship. And but where I'm going with that is that we're always thinking of something, and we're tossing things I told you together all the time, and we have some ideas. Sometimes we say some, but sometimes we kind of like to keep it kind of secret because we like when people come out here, they see something new, something different. So we're always trying to think of what we can do, something different. And, there's a couple of ideas that I always think that we're thinking about doing. And
How much older is he than you?
9
years?
old.
Oh, okay.
9
So
years
there's a
old.
good distance where there's probably, that's a good amount. It's probably good for the relationship.
It is.
there.
No, we get along great. I love him to death, and I just think the world of him.
It's in your guys' blood. Who are you gonna hire to take? I mean, are you gonna be 80 years old? The two of you.
I know.
Just,
Well,
hey,
so,
welcome to Joe
like I
T's
said, I
kind
got
of
my
thing.
son in there, and he's got his daughter in there too now.
Yeah.
And Kelly, of course, also helping with things. And but there's other siblings. I got a niece, Liz's daughter, Hopi, who helps also, and we're hoping some more come in there.
Sure,
and
yeah.
but
But keep it in the family.
keep
for
it in the
sure.
family.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those kind of things. I people go, Joe, when you gonna, when you gonna stop? I guess when I finally just can't do it anymore. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to let it go.
Yes, sir.
But
When
my
New Balance
son,
goes out of business, huh?
yeah, I guess. I hope they never do. I need
Yeah,
those
they're giving you
shoes.
free shoes.
I need those
Sorry,
shoes.
you're saying your son. You were saying something.
Oh, my
about-
son, he helped me a great deal. And, it's really funny. He'll give me a hard. He goes, Dad, I got this. Keep forgetting. I know you're not that, we all have our kids, but even though they're all grown adults, we keep thinking,
Sure.
I get it. And I have to remind myself, he's not that little kid anymore, know? So I understand that. So,
I think this is accurate, but please correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think you advertise or market often or a lot. I mean, if people just know. If you know, you know, which seems to be everybody. But you don't have to market this thing very much. Is that fair?
That's fair. We really don't. Kelly, who gets some things out there, what she does, but we don't advertise in magazines or billboards or anything like that, papers of any kind. But it's word of mouth, and we've always had a strong belief that word of mouth. We want when you come in, you have the big experience. You're going out there and tell somebody and several people. They're going to tell somebody, and get the word out. It's really great that what's wonderful. We're getting a lot of new, with everything and all the people moving into Texas now in Fort Worth.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, we've gotten so many new customers that's come out here, and it's really been great. And they just get amazed every time they come out. And of course, when they see this patio, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I heard years ago that you were maybe the number 2 volume restaurant in the United States. Is that still relevant, or do you know any stats? Are you guys?
I don't know.
in the top 5
in the United States, I don't know. We're up there, volume, but I know we're up there at top in the Dallas Fort Worth and Texas when it comes to margaritas. I know that.
Yes,
I know we have. I say volumes. We're definitely high in volume in that. And food and all that. We serve a lot of people. We set a lot of people, and so I'd say we're high volume without a question. Especially tablecloth. Cloth napkins. It's not just plain table you wipe down. I mean, you're getting a dining experience when you come out to Joe
Yes,
T's.
sir. Fair to say you've seen people from all over the world. I bet every country.
Yeah,
probably
and that
at
is
some
fair to
level.
say. There's no question. The president of Mexico, that's been out here.
What did he say? Did you like it?
Oh, he loved it. He sat right over there. I never visiting with him, and wonderful man. Visit for a long time, and just thought he was great. And it's neat meeting all these people, and then just said Martin Sheen, God, great guy. And when he came out, and we sat and visited and just talked with him, and just super nice guy.
Do they and they like visiting with you? And you all probably you all clearly have a knack for knowing your customers. If you know that they're from all over the place, that means that you're up there talking to them. And I mean,
right? It's just like I said. They're just it's wonderful. The restaurant. There's no question about that. It's great that they come out. Always love seeing them. It says a lot, you know, and means a lot, especially when you see them come back.
Yeah.
You know, not just a one-time experience. You see them come out. Reuben McIntyre been out here many times. My God, Martin Sheen's been out here many times. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Owen Wilson been out here many times. His brother also.
Yeah.
And just great guys and great family. I mean, when the Owen Wilson and family, the whole family, I mean, they had a little party here. Mom and Dad, everybody, they're right over there. The whole family came in and had dinner here.
As nice as could be, just the kind of same old thing.
Super, super great deal.
Yeah.
And when they did that, the movie on the
Orphans?
Orphans, thank you very much.
Well,
Sorry,
Orphans,
Drew, they did all that. They had their party out here, and they were, the cast were out here eating all the time. So it was really great.
That's great.
All the vegetation and trees and plant life. Is there a dedicated gardener or gardeners? That handles all
let's
this?
go there. That all started with my grandmother, Jessie Garcia. Was a master gardener. There's no question.
Oh wow!
I mean that woman could grow anything, and I admired my grandmother so much. I just thought the world of my grandmother, and she could just put. I mean, she had all these tin, like coffee cans and with plant stuff, and of course she had pots and stuff. She could make anything grow. Lanny, who took after her to doing the same thing, which I watched all that, and I wanted it. So now I'm into it. I mean, I'm into my yard and my garden and my everything. But Lanny and I, for years, Lanny did, when my grandmother, then my brother Lanny, we did all our in-house, did the restaurant planting 100%. At the very beginning. I mean, no question that when we first started, he would go out, get all the plants, and then hand it over to me. Then I would go to the nurseries and find all the plants and bring them, have them all shipped here, and we'd do all our own planting, all in-house, So now we get somebody help, but we still do a lot of in-house. We have a big greenhouse out here in the back that we put all our plants in, but we do all our own maintenance ourselves.
Higher bill per month, cheese bill or water bill?
Oh, right now you would say definitely electric and gas without a that's pretty high right now.
Yeah.
But no, we spend a lot on cheese. There's no question. Cheese, food everything's high right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go down the line. I guess I got to get down and look on that, but it's all high right now. It does make it tough. We hate having to go up right now, but you always got to go up. You have no choice.
Sure. Well, it's beautiful, and you have something that's just that people can count on. They're going to go. They're going to get the same thing, even in tough times like now with the restaurant industry and stuff. And so, congratulations to you guys and all your success.
Well, I appreciate
It's good calling you a friend. We know each other. We know your family. You've been coming like everybody else. You're the best salesman this place has. You and your brothers. Everybody who does. You guys do such an amazing job.
Yep.
Well, we try. We always do try, and we appreciate all our customers. Everyone who comes out here, and I mean it so much because, again, this was our home. So when I say you can, thank you for coming to our home.
Yeah.
And I mean that. Thank you. Love you. We're nothing without you. I tell that to our customers. They'll come to me and go, thank you so much, Joe. Thank you. No, thank you. Because without you, I'm not here.
We have our final question we always ask our guests. This might be the hardest person to ask this question because of your familial roots, but we always ask our guests, besides family aside, what is the best day of your whole life? If you can find one.
It's outside of family, the best day of what do I enjoy the most?
The best day of your whole life. That doesn't include your wife, kids, all that family stuff.
Meeting Axl Rose here at the restaurant.
That's not a bad one,
Oh my God, it's the best day. Man, you hit, I don't know if I could even end. I mean, well, you always say the best day of my life. But my children.
Can't say your family.
Oh, my family. You said not to say that. God, that's the best day of my life.
What a bully. He's
my
gosh.
Not
going to let it go.
The best day of my life. Oh my gosh. That is,
We think it's an intentionally hard question.
you know what? I guess, If you say, what's the best day of my life? And I can say it'd be more than one day, is that when challenges hit you, as say when COVID came and we had to meet the challenge and we accomplished that, we adapted to it, and you want to say defeated or just say we handled it. Mm-hmm. That's the day. That's one of your best days.
That's beautiful.
Because you know what? Every time there's a challenge, and I always say, you know what? Come on. I mean, I'm ready. I'll handle it. I'll figure it out, but I'll make it work.
Indeed.
No question.
Well,
and
we were both those cars sitting in that parking lot getting the delivery.
Well, thank you,
of
and
that
I
food
appreciate that.
during
I mean
COVID.
that
Yeah.
sincere.
Joe Lancarte, thanks for the time,
Yeah,
my friend.
Joe,
Thank
thank
you
you,
to the
Joe.
Captex Bank.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you. If you
Thank
guys
you.
don't know about Joe T's, you probably don't belong in this town because this is where you should be. But come see Joe and say hello if you find him. But thank you, Joe Lancarte,
Yeah,
for the
thank you.
time. Thank you
you.
for watching Fortitude.
Love y'all.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Captex.
Thank you for your time.
Captex Bank. Thank
I
you.
already said it, but you missed me.
Oh, you did?
Oh, say it again.
Thank you.
Roxo Media House.